Hello and welcome in. I am MissKinghorn and we are back here with another Sims 4 speed build. Twice in a row. Wow. Yeah, there's so much for me alternating videos between The Sims and Planet Zoo. Anyway, I will make it up to the Planet Zoo lovers out there next week. But we have had 2 new kits drop. So I figured let's do a build for those, and that's what we're going to be doing today, because we are doing a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom cottage in Henford-on-Bagley. It is actually in the Bramblewood neighbourhood, which is, the lot was originally 13 Nettle Lane, so it's a 30 by 20. It was originally a rental, so if you still have the sort of all of the lots or stuff like that from when the world came out, then that's where it goes. But yeah, it's the one that's got the car like the end of the lane on the side, if that makes any sense. It's top sort of left neighbourhood, and I think it's like the bottom one in that sort of neighbourhood, like the lowest one down, I think. Don't quote me on that one. Anyway, the my lot ID and my username ID will be down in the description, so make sure to check that out if you wish to download it. It's always down in the description for you as well in there, along with all of my sort of social media links and things like that as well, so you can follow me pretty much everywhere, whether it is here on YouTube or on Instagram, Threads, all of those wonderful places as well. The links to those are down there. But yes, so this is another one of my friends' houses. I say that and I mean that as loosely as I possibly can. So I have a friend that lives probably about 2 hours away. They own an orchard and a cider factory, manufacturing plant, anyway, whatever you want to call it. And I tried to create one of those in the game on a little bit more of a smaller scale, however. So we do have all of the sort of apples, and we have the nectar making sort of machines in here, so you can technically do it. But yeah, that's what I tried to do in here, and I will let you be the judge of whether I get it right into there. But we're working here on the exterior of this build. Now, I should give you a little bit of disclaimer. The exterior of this was done pre-update, so I have all of my mods. I have Better Build By, Tall, and the Red Shelf. They're the only 3 mods I really have in my game. And here, so at this moment in time, I have them in game. When we come in to do the interior downstairs, that is post-update, no mods, pre the new kits. And then at the very end, you'll see I come through and I managed to do a little bit of slicing and dicing, and we then end up with the 2 bedrooms upstairs and the art studio in as well, because we do use both new kits in here. So we do have a room downstairs which you could, if you wanted, convert into another bedroom to make it a 3-bedroom if that's what you would like to do. I decided to go for an art studio because of the new kit, which I've got to say I absolutely love. The new kit, the new art studio kit, I think is probably one of my favourites for a while. I feel like I often do art studios if I have like a room that I don't really know what to do with. I tend to kind of place in like a little bit of an art studio. I'm not that much of a lover of the new nursery kit, and you'll sort of see when we come up and do that, I had a little bit of a difficult time trying to get that to work for me. I don't know why. I'm seeing a lot of people love it. For me, it's not really it's not my cup of tea, I don't think. Although I would love, in theory, it should be. I'm not quite love of it, sorry to say. But anyway, we are continuing with the exterior of this build, and I'll talk more about those new kits as we get into the specific rooms for them in here. So I said this was kind of a reconstruction of my friend's house. It's not quite, because this I've only managed to get into a 2-bedroom, where hers is a 3-bedroom. It's slightly bigger. It's it's been added to, which I've tried to do, and I've tried to kind of show that it's been added to. So the kitchen wing that you can sort of see here isn't actually an extension that they had put on. I think the previous owners did it a couple of, maybe 10-15 years ago, to kind of create more space, and then I think they've just added on the sort of front section in here as well. But you know, just little extensions, little bits here and there. But I've tried to kind of break it all up using the sort of soft stone walls. They're actually from the Riviera Retreats kit, which I use that, but I haven't really used the wallpaper for it, but I absolutely love it. I think it actually works in here really, really well, along with like the, I think, is it Utterly Smooth or something along those lines, wallpaper. It's quite a nice texture to it. Anyway, I'm waffling. Let's get on with the rest of this build. So those windows that you can see by the front door there, I have been using the ones from the greenhouse kit, but I've only just realised that they're actually not glass windows, that they're like a mesh kind of screen on them. And so I tried to get something that looks very similar to the windows but can like be stacked quite easily. And then I don't know, I can't remember who I saw it from, and I apologise for this. I think I saw it on a picture from Instagram. Somebody did something very similar, and I then realised that yes, you can do that, and yes, it is these tiny little windows from Summyscape. They stack really well and they still look really nice in there. So I'm pinching that. I'm sorry, I don't know off the top of my head who the creator is. If I do remember you, I will make sure to come back in and put an edit into the description for that. But I've also used the fence from Werewolves here. I don't think I've ever used it, but I thought it looked quite nice, and it kind of fitted in with that sort of white sort of look that I was really going for when we were doing this exterior, and then sort of planting it all up around it so it's maybe not quite so sharp in there as well. Just gives it a really nice sort of touch, and to show what we are doing in here, and lots of sort of yellows and soft sort of colours for the sort of planting and stuff like that as well everywhere. Now I don't have Sims on the lot, unlike last week. I decided not to, and I basically ran out of time to kind of create the Sims for this lot beforehand, so I decided to put them in afterwards, and you'll sort of see that when we come to the screenshots that it is all sort of changed and things like that. And so we kind of get the kind of bare plants, the sort of gorgeous red colours and oranges and things like that that we normally get for sort of autumn or fall in there as well. And then decorating up a few little bits and pieces here and there, using a lot of horse ranch for this build, simply because it has all of these pieces for sort of the next mayhem, which worked in here really, really well. I do apologise, I did forget to put the lighting in. It was one of those things that I actually thought I was going to cut this part of the build out, so I wasn't overly too worried about it. But yeah, it's a little bit too dark, I apologise into there. But yes, so we do have some chickens, and you sort of saw me placing them in, so they're kind of like a free range kind of chickens that just sort of run around the place, but I thought it'd be a really nice little touch because they have them on the sort of farm as well. I thought, why not add them all in, and yeah, makes a nice little sort of real life touch in there, because obviously they can run around underneath all of the trees and do their own sort of thing in here as well. And now we don't have too many apples, so my friend's farm has around about 4 or 5 acres worth of like orchards. That's not really usable in game because we don't really have enough room. I mean, I could have put this on a 64 by 64, sorry. It just wouldn't really work, I don't think. And gardening in this game takes so long. Well, it takes so long to do anything that if you really did have so much gardening to do, you wouldn't necessarily get to do anything else. I feel like that might be a little repetitive for sort of gameplay wise into there. But we're using some of the native sort of trees that I've sort of pulled from the surrounding area. So you can sort of see I come out and I have a look at what we've got in the area and try and get those in. And then actually using the ones from cats and dogs, which have the colour scheme that I really wanted for those sort of fall kind of autumn trees in here. Now this is the right floor plan. You might have noticed at the beginning when I was doing the exterior, I was also kind of creating the floor plan. Unfortunately, it didn't really work because it was such an odd, weird sort of shape. I didn't particularly like it, but now we're getting into doing the interior work in here with this little entrance hall space. So yeah, moving into the sort of interior and this entrance hall, I've kind of gone for a very soft kind of sort of light mint kind of green in here. I thought it was a really nice sort of touch and very neutral and kind of very nice in here, and it just sort of softens everything up rather than using sort of hardwoods and sort of darker coloured woods in here. And yeah, have a nice sort of entranceway. Now this is obviously very bright, it's very open to the sort of, with all of the big sort of windows in here, so anybody coming up the front sort of drive can see in here, which made placing things a little bit interesting. Obviously in real life we wouldn't necessarily have the keys and stuff such an obvious place, but I figured this is The Sims, why not? And we do have a little doggy in this build as well, so I figured why not. Now it was at that point when I placed the first rug that I realised that I hate this build already. So I would scale that rug up, and it needs to be, but I don't have tool. So yeah, I had to make a choice and I didn't, and yeah. But this is now sort of coming into what is really a hallway, but it's also sort of the dining room in here. They have this gorgeous sort of round dining table. It's huge, I have to be fair, in real life. So I figured we can kind of try and recreate it in here, but it does leave so much more space. I've kind of smooshed it into this sort of corner a little way here. So in this house at the moment is 2 adults and a infant, and obviously in real life there is just 2 adults in here and a newborn on the way. So it should be due before Christmas, but anyway, I figured they would have lots of people around, lots of sort of family in the area and stuff like that, so I thought let's have a nice big dining table in there, have lots of parties. I feel like that would be a place to sit when you're having a big sort of family like roast dinner or something. Nice big sort of group gathering. Anyway, I'm way off topic today. I seem to be going down lots of tangents, I apologise. But we also have a little piano in here as well, and the little dog bed coming through in here, and then I place lots of these books in a not so straight line on the top of here, up here as well, as I felt like we needed something. And there is actually a proper bookcase that comes in, but I figured we could have a row of those. It's a nice little sort of knick-knack that you can have lots of, and because they're in lots of different swatches, you can kind of switch them all around, and it makes it look maybe a little bit different rather than the same books over and over again. But this is now into the extended sort of kitchen area that we have here on the side. I've again gone for a sort of a soft light wood textured kind of cabinets in here, and then placed down at the floor. I believe this is from, it's not growing together, is it? No, it's for rent, I believe. But I really love the sort of texture on it. It's kind of a little bit more neutral. It's quite a nice soft one. It doesn't, like, it's not quite so in your face in here. Anyway, and yeah, putting a nice big island in here, and then we're gonna go and clutter the whole lot up in a minute and placing as a furniture. It was a struggle because I ended up using the Parenthood fridge freezer, which I think works in here really nicely. I've kind of then gone for a little bit of a silver kind of decorations on like the cookers and stuff like that in here. And now we come along, as per I have deleted all of the scrolling of trying to find all these items, and we're just going to place them in here. I wanted things to be very much kind of a very lived in, very kind of used kind of kitchen, and it's the hub of any home, I think. So having lots of bits and pieces like that all over the place makes a lot of sort of sense. I have tried to keep at least some counters free so that you can like work on them, but your Sims will be able to use all of them because technically there's nothing on any of these counters. Everything is just sort of floating, barring like the sort of kettle and the mixer and things like that, because you try and hide the way you do it, and so your Sims can sort of clip through items in here as well. But then we gain some muddy paw prints as if just dogs come in from the sort of garden here, and then little food bowl as well. And you'll notice that there are bits and pieces done. I had to cut and slice bits here and there. I do show you one bathroom in today's video. I am trying to make a point of showing you some bathrooms because normally I just sort of cut them all out, but here it is. This is the downstairs bathroom. It has a big bath in it because obviously when the little one grows up into a toddler, and obviously as an infant they need a bath, I figured why not put one in down here. There wasn't room for one up in the upstairs bathroom, so I figured this would be in here. And also if you've got the dog, muddy, cold, wet, dogs always need a good old bath every so often, so I thought why not put it in here. And then we also have, this goes on to a laundry kind of room. I would normally put them in the kitchen because for me in the UK that's where they go, but they don't fit under the cabinets, so it's quite a weird one. In the end I just decided to place them in this little room here. I was originally going to extend the bathroom and have the toilet in here, but I figured why not kind of use it as a little bit of a kind of utility kind of storeroom in here. So I have placed down a hoover from the Bust the Dust kit. We need more like that, I have to be fair, like little gameplay elements added in. Anyway, we have a few little bits and pieces and decorations in there as well, but now we're moving around on to the living room. So we've got this fireplace in here to go up with the external chimney, and trying to find pieces in here. So you can see here I have so many colours for these sofas now because these are the ones that were given the huge new swatch update. I was kind of going through and I was like, oh okay, they've said that they've done it on this and this and this. There's a few items where I think they could have done it on and they haven't, and then they seem to have done it on others. I don't know. I'm never going to turn down more swatches or more items, but yeah. It was a little bit of a weird one. Why certain things got it and certain others didn't, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, this is a very small, it's quite a narrow kind of room. I didn't have too many kind of options of what I could do in here because obviously the fireplace had to go where the fireplace goes, and some eagle-eyed people would actually notice it is not quite straight onto the chimney. I couldn't really get it to be. It seemed to be a little bit of an odd one, but yeah, using some cushions I just kind of made a nice kind of greens and browns kind of coming through into here as well, and then lots and lots of kids toys over here as well. And I've put the little pots up on top of the fireplace, and they're the only items that I place up there, and I'm looking at them now and I'm like, they're so sad because they're so small. I should have made them bigger tall, but you know, anyway, I keep mentioning that I don't have it. I feel like I'm kind of lost without it nowadays, which is a shame because anyway, people on console don't have it and I'm sorry for that, but yeah, I'm too much of a builder with the occasional mod. So in here is where we get in the bookshelf and a few more toys. Now I do change this one out to the new one with the nursery storybook in here as well, but a nice little kind of kiddie corner lots of sort of toys, lots of bits and pieces in here as well. And then this is something that I actually kind of find quite cute. I have scaled down a room divider to make it into like a fireplace guard, because you don't want little ones putting their fingers in any wood or coal or whatever you want to put in your fire. So I thought a nice little guard to kind of separate it on. Obviously it is a fire risk if you are using this in game. I would remove the sort of room divider from that before I would light it. I don't actually know if you can light it with the fire guard there. I feel like you may have to kind of take it away beforehand. But this here, we are now into the art studio. So this is at the very front of the build, and I love this kit. I think I prefer this one over the other one. Sorry, not sorry for that. I love the swatches that comes with this. That sort of distressed kind of blue works so well for this build. And you can sort of see I'm placing down basically this whole room. I think barring maybe like 6, maybe 7 items is all from this kit. And it works in here really, really well. It does also come with a new wallpaper. I didn't use the wallpaper in here because I felt like it just didn't really fit the build that I was going for, but we'll have to use that at a later date in here. But yeah, lots of sort of paint on the floor, lots of sort of clutter pieces, lots of shelving, just lots and lots of pieces all over the place in here, and I absolutely love how this room turned out in here. Now I do place some of these big empty kind of paintings on the floor here. That is one thing that I wish we would have had more swatches on, or an updated version from the new kit, but that's fine. We have 3 in here, and so I'm trying to find the wall sort of scuffs in here, but I don't particularly want to use werewolf, so I'm trying to find some of the others. In the end, I think I give up with trying to find those, and we kind of place down a few other bits and pieces from here as well. And we do also grab out the rug in here from the City Living, which has got all the paint marks on it as well. I feel like maybe they originally had that down and then it's kind of just been destroyed a little bit, and it's just either bled through or it has sort of missed that top one in here. And now we're up into the nursery. Now I know we're having a little boy, so I really wanted a nice blue kind of bedroom in here, but I didn't particularly like the strawberries. It didn't really fit with me, and then I tried to add in this sort of blue kind of nursery sort of set in here, and although I had gone through all of the colours, it wasn't really until I was in here that I was a bit like, oh, I don't know what goes with what, like the swatches aren't the clearest. And yeah, I'm rapidly sort of losing my love for this kit, sadly, the more I sort of build with it in here. I love this piece here. I wish that the little toy box sort of with a teddy bear was separate, but that's fine, that's just me being me. And obviously I did try to use as much as I can from these 2 kits in sort of their respective rooms, as best as I can, because I feel like it's a nice little showcase in here. We change everything to the sort of blue and yellow kind of vibe in here, and I love this rug. So that little rug with all of the different animals on, there's quite a few different swatches with that. That is something I feel like I'm going to really use in a lot of kids' bedrooms. Even necessarily if I don't use some of the other stuff, I feel like that rug is going to come with me for a lot of them in here. But you can sort of see I've now kind of stopped using the new pack, and we're just kind of decorating up a few other bits and pieces with items in here as well. So we do also get in the cloud rug because I thought it was a nice little touch, and then the stuff, this all came with the free update. This is like the baby kind of up sort of nappies and things like that, and that we got in here just to add a little bit of sort of clutter to that wall in here. But that basically was the nursery done. So you can sort of see just how little time I actually spent doing that, because there's not a great deal I could do really with it. There is also an odd shape, and maybe if I had a bigger sort of square room, I could have done maybe a little bit more with it. But yeah, I did what I could in here, and then we're moving on to the parents' bedroom in here, which is again an odd sort of size and an odd shape, because you also have the ensuite. Now I could have got rid of the ensuite and just had maybe a slightly bigger room in here, but I decided that I wanted to give them a little bit of more sort of privacy, as in like maybe if you have guests over, they would use the downstairs one rather than sort of go up to the bedroom, the bathroom that everybody else does in here. And then I didn't have room to place 2 full dressers in, so I have one dresser and then this little kind of shelving kind of box on the other side, which I think works in pretty well in here as well. But we are coming up with some planting, lots of different kind of lamps on here as well. It's kind of a little bit of a mismatched kind of room in terms of that, but we're getting in a few more details. I figured this would be a really good place to have some sort of more storage, and I was trying to find the boxes. I'm going to be putting them out right here. I don't know where they actually are and where they're supposed to be. It was quite a difficult one to kind of get in here, and this is where I'm hating the fact that I don't have the red shelf. So in the end we use this little box. Now I know this is obviously a non-modded version of how you do it, but when you're using something for so long, you kind of get stuck in your way, and that was very much a frustrated, I can't do it the way I want to do it. But we are quickly coming to the end of this video, so if you have enjoyed this build, then please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. And yeah, you can follow me on pretty much all social medias. The links to those are down in the description as well. But I will be back next week with another video. And I can guarantee you right this very second, it is going to be a plant zoo video. So if you're interested in that, then stick around. But yeah, for now, I will leave you with a screenshot. But until next time, alright, bye everyone!